Well, Trent, you were right in that in the first half. You really took it to them. Very physical performance by the Dogs.
Yeah, it was. I thought, to be in front 12-10 was a really good effort, from our boys. And then a couple of things in the second half. At 12-10, the try to Trbojevic, which wasn't a try. How they get that wrong, I just don't know. And it changes the game, mate. That was a bad one. There was a few.
Does that include the report on Joe for
the hair pull? Yeah.
That obviously gave them a couple of points.
It does.
As well.
It gives them another 2 points and kicks them 6 clear instead of 4. And Joe Stimson didn't. His hand got tangled up in his hair. He gets put on report, so they get a free interchange in the searing heat, which would have worked in our favour as well, and it costs us 2 points. It's not Joe's fault. Marty's got long hair. And I watched Trent Robinson's press conference the other day, and I can see why he was so frustrated. I haven't got that good a rant in me, but those 2 ones in particular, coupled with, so I think the possession was 70% against us, or 71-29 against us in the second half. In that heat against a red-hot team like Manly, you can't win, but we're brave. And then, the unforced errors at the back end just blew the scoreline out.
Does that hurt even more? I mean, I think you were 18 from 18 in terms of your set completion at half time. Like the boy, and you've talked before about sort of just silly errors creeping into the game and stuff. Yeah. They'd done it. They'd done a perfect job. They were 12-10 up, and then you get a few calls that don't go your way. It's very hard, I guess, in your circumstances, to keep the boys up and keep them.
Yeah, it is, and it seems to we don't react well to things when they go against us, and that's something that we're going to have to work really hard on over the pre-season. But we were 18 from 18 in the first half. But in the second half, even there with the game in the balance, and we come up with, I think, 4 unforced errors from our outside backs. And as a forward, they'd be pretty dirty, because they're doing a lot of tackling, and we just can't make those mistakes. We're not a good enough team to hand teams, especially teams with Tom Trbojevic in there, cheap possession. And that's what we did in the second half, and then to throw an intercept at the death. Again, just to blow that score out into the 30s, and that's what hurts, because our effort was really good, but execution and wasn't great at times.
What's the news on Matt and the knee? I think I heard that it's probably an ACL.
Yeah, he's got a possible ACL, so fingers crossed for Matty. He's only young too, but fingers crossed he's okay. We'll see.
Will that mean going back to Sydney for him and just getting scans and all that sort of stuff? Like, would he go home early, probably?
Yeah, well, if that's the case, again, fingers crossed it's not. But we'll wait and see, yeah.
Have you had a chance to have a chat to Lachlan Lewis, and what's your assessment of where that situation's at with what happened there exactly? Because there's a couple of different reports.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest. It's gone to management and to the integrity unit, so that's all I'm allowed to comment on that one.
How disruptive was it in the week? Because it wasn't just that. There was obviously the Adam Elliott stuff as well. I mean, was it disruptive to you and to the team?
Yeah, well, look, you'd like to say it's not, but yeah, it is. You don't need those distractions, and the club certainly doesn't need any adverse publicity as well. So, it was disappointing, but I thought you saw the effort from the players today. They do care a lot about their performance, and they're disappointed in the sheds again. So been a tough week.
If you bring that performance next week, do you feel like you can end the season at least on a winning note?
Yeah, it'd be nice. The last month I think we've 14 points, 12 points, 6 points. We were close. That game should have been a hell of a lot closer then. But next week's a big one for us. We'll throw everything we can into trying to finish the season with a win, and to play well. We've got some players that are leaving the club. Will Hopewadi being one of them, who's been here a long time, and we'd certainly like to prepare well again and send him out with a win.